How many types of exceptions are there? Two types. What are those? Checked exceptions, unchecked exception. Checked exception means which are derived from java.lang.exception class are called checked exception. Which are unchecked exception? Java.lang.runtime exception class are called unchecked exception. Which type of exceptions are mandatory to handle? Checked exception. If you don't handle, what will happen? Compile time error occurs. Is it compulsory to handle unchecked exception? No. Why? System implicitly handles. What purpose programmer has to handle? To display user-friendly error messages. Okay. The Java compiler checks try-catch blocks for which kind of exception? Checked exception. That is the reason only that is called checked exception. Compiler checking try-catch, that is checked. Compiler is not checking, that is unchecked. All application specific exception comes under which category? Checked. General exception, unchecked. See. Now, checked, unchecked, yesterday I explained. Suppose this program file save. Here Java C demo.java program successfully compiled. Successfully compiled means there is no syntax error. There is no compile time error. That means no syntax error. Now, if I don't pass any arguments, what is the length of this array? 0. If 0 length is there, 0 index also invalid. 1 also invalid. First in this line, exception occurs. See, exception in thread main java.lang.array index out of bounds exception index 0 out of bounds for length 0. 0 also out of bounds for length 0. This error occurred. Now, this error message, only those who studied Java, they can understand. But other people cannot understand this syntax, this message, no? User purpose, simple English message you have to write. See, if this type of exception message comes in real time, users cannot understand what is exception, what is thread, what is main, what is array, what is index, they cannot understand. That's what we have to write user-friendly error message. Okay. See, you must provide one user-friendly error message. User-friendly error message required. Okay. User-friendly error message required. Otherwise, other people cannot understand. Other people cannot understand what is this. Okay. See, user understandable format, one message you have to write. Here, this type of runtime errors, thousands are there. Thousands. Okay. Just what they did is toString method called in superclass, that class name printed. This is class name. It is class name. If throwable class also toString is not there, object class called. Object class means as code comes. But here class name printing. Whichever exception comes, that class name printed. But this is only those who studied Java, they can understand. But other people cannot understand. That is the reason you must write user-friendly error message. Okay. See, suppose example, in ATM center, you'll go to ATM center, You want to withdraw money. First, what you will do? You will insert ATM card. First, it will check card is valid or not. Card is valid. Then it will ask PIN number. PIN number. Then you will enter PIN number. Then you are authorized person to access that card. Otherwise, other people PIN ATM card also can insert, no? That's what it will check PIN number, whether you are authorized or not. That means first card is valid or not, and it will check. Next, whether you are valid or not, it will check. Okay. After that, it will ask how much amount you want to withdraw. You will enter. But first of all, in that account number, balance is there or not, it has to check. Okay. But that information is there in ATM center? No, it is in server. Then it has to send the request to server system. Then what we required? Internet connection required, database connection required, client server communication protocols required, driver software is required, so many things required. So many things required. In between, database connection related problem, URL related problem, socket related problem, driver related problem. If problem occurred, like one message, exception in threadman java.lang. Some driver not found exception. Will they understand what is driver, what is not found, what is there? Other people cannot understand. Okay. That's what we have to handle. We have to write one simple English message. That purpose you studied yesterday's syntaxes. Now try block, task code, catch. Which exception you want to handle? Array index out of bounds exception. Now, like this. System.error.println. Here, if you write out also works, but out is not recommended, error recommended. What's the difference between out and error also? I'll explain. One program also I'll show you. Difference between out and error. Okay. Now, here one simple English message I'll write. Please pass two arguments. Or please pass two arguments. Something I'll write. Now, if array index out of bounds exception is occurred, then automatically object created by JVM. New array index out of bounds exception. Object created by JVM. This object passed to catch block. Okay. Suppose in this line, array index out of bounds exception occurred. Then automatically this object created, this object passed to this catch block, this message printed. See. File, save, compilation, execution. See, please pass two arguments. This is anybody can understand. Simple English. Now I'll pass two arguments. Then one more message. Write this one also. Write one more catch block. Catch, number format exception. Write here one message. System.error.println. Please pass two numbers only. Then this message comes now. See? Compilation. Execution. See, please pass two arguments. Now, two arguments I passed. Please pass two numbers only. No, two numbers only, no? But again, one more exception. Write one more message. No, catch. Arithmetic exception. System.error.println. One more message. Please pass second argument except 0. See, if we don't pass arguments, please pass to arguments. If we pass different format, please pass to numbers only. If you pass second number 0, see, please pass second argument except 0 or second number except 0. Java demo 10 to then 5. Like this, we can handle. Okay. Like this, we can write. This is exception handling mechanism. Write this one. Example 1. Over. Completed. Here, if array index or the bounds exception occurred, then this catch block will receive. Number format exception occurred, this catch block will receive. Arithmetic exception occurred, this catch block received. Okay, like that, handled, message displayed. So try block, it will try to execute. While executing, if any problem occurred, exception occurred, control jumps to catch block. First, it will check in this catch. If it is possible to handle, it will handle. Not possible, it comes here. Not possible, it comes here. Like that. Okay. Now, instead of writing 3 catch blocks, I want to write 1 catch block for all messages. Possible or not possible. What we have to write? Catch. Array index order bounds exception. Pipe symbol. Next, number format exception. Next, arithmetic exception. Or just E. That is object reference, whatever you want, you can write. Like this. Now, in these 3, 1 only occurs. Whenever occurred, stopped. 2 will never occur. So, if array index order bounds exception occurred, this E contains that one. Like that. Here, system.err.println. Now, one message. Please pass 2 numbers and second number except 0. For all, one message. For all, one message. See? Compilation. If we don't pass numbers, if we don't pass argument, which exception occurs? Array index or bounds. But this message. If we pass A, B, C, X, Y, Z, which exception occurs? That is also same message. If you pass 10, 0, which exception occurs? For that one also same message. Like this also you can write. There one more way. Write this one. Example 2. Handling multiple exceptions with single catch block. That concept. See, after exception handling, application development begins. Up to exception handling, whatever you are going to learn, each and every point required to develop applications. You prepare and be ready. Further, every day I'll ask questions, you have to give answer. With your answers only, I'll write the programs. That type will be there. Up to exception handling, one type. After exception handling, one more type. Teaching is different. Okay. Up to exception handling, my duty. After exception handling, your duty. Okay. That is depends on you. So whatever I taught, each and every point, if you remember, developing application possible. That's what you prepare and be ready. After exception handling, daily I'll ask questions. You have to give answer. With your answers, I'll write the program. Teaching is less and writing program only more. Task only more. That type. Okay. Up to exception handling, teaching is more. Myself, my duty completed almost. Okay. Next, your duty starts. Application begins from after exception handling. You can be ready. Daily, I'll ask questions. You have to give answer. With your answers only, I'll write the program. That type. Is it over? Like this, you can write. One more way also possible. That is one exception we handled. Here, multiple exception we handled. But all at a time also you can handle, no? What we have tried? Exception. But here checked exceptions are not there. That's what? Runtime exception. This is one more way. This is one more way. Now also same. See, compilation, execution. Now also same. Okay. Write this one also. Example 3. Over. Now, one way, individual exception. Listen. First way, different catch blocks. Many catch blocks are written, multiple catch blocks. Second one, multiple exception with single catch block. This is common, all exceptions, all unchecked handle. Okay. But you have seen all unchecked exceptions only. Now checked. Next topic onwards, everyday checked exception comes. Every day, every application checked exception comes. Present, total how many keywords are there in exception handling? 5. What are those? Try, catch, throw, throws, finally. Total 5 keywords. In 5 keywords, how many keywords completed? 2. Try, catch. Now, to understand throw, throws, myself, I'll create one exception. Myself, I'll throw the exception. Myself, I'll handle the exception. That means user-defined exception. We are going to create, we are going to throw, we are going to handle. But in previous program, what you have seen? Predefined exception. You have seen predefined. Predefined, JVM is throwing. You are going to handle only. So in this program, just we handled. We didn't create, we didn't throw. Just we handled. Now, myself, I'll create. Myself, I'll throw. Myself, I'll handle. Then you'll get a complete knowledge about exception handling with that program. Okay. For that, one task. Suppose this is my task. At the command prompt, I'll compile like this. I'll execute like this. While executing, one number I'll pass. If the number is positive number, I want to display cube of that number. Okay. If the number is negative number, I want to display exception. I want to display exception. That exception I am going to create. That exception I want to throw. So user defined, we are going to define. We are going to define exception. That exception I want to throw. That exception I want to handle. Suppose you studied all exceptions are in Java language classes. Here also we have to create one class. Suppose the example, that class negative number exception. It is not there in Java library. This class name we are creating. Okay, negative number exception. Negative number exception class is not there in Java library. We are going to define. We are going to throw. We are going to handle. Everything we are going to do. With that, you will understand complete about exception handling. Okay. Now, if I enter positive number, output should be cube. If I enter negative number, output should be exception. Runtime error. Okay. Now, this is our task. This is our task. Say, first of all exceptions are in Java language classes. Our exception also must be a class. How to create class? Class name. Negative number exception. Okay. Now, negative number exception class we are creating. Okay. Now, negative number exception class we are creating. Here, you studied how many types of exceptions are there? 2 types. What are those? Checked, unchecked. How will identify which is checked, which is unchecked? If the class is derived from exception class, that is called checked. If the class is derived from runtime exception class, that is called unchecked. Our exception also must be either checked or unchecked. If you want to create a checked, what you write? Extends exception. If you want to create unchecked, extends runtime exception. Now, first I'll show you checked. Okay. Now, there are two types of exception: checked, unchecked. If the class is derived from exception class, that is checked. If the class is derived from runtime exception class, that is unchecked. You can create your own exception, but you cannot create your own category. One more type you cannot create, checked or unchecked, that's it. If you want to create one more type of exception, one more category of exception, we have to change the JVM also. Okay. But JVM knows only two types. One more type you cannot create. Exceptions n number of you can create, but either checked or unchecked only can create. Okay. Now, class name extends exception, open brace, close brace, creating exception over. That's it. Empty class. Because you observe, exception class also, it contains only constructors. Java P, java.lang. Number format exception. See, here constructor. That's it. No, not constructor. This is static methods are there, but not accessible. Only constructors are there. Next, Java P, java.lang. Array index out of bounds exception. See, here also constructor, no other. Like almost constructors only will be there. If we don't write any constructor, one constructor comes. That is default constructor. That is enough. Now, it's one class. All exceptions are classes in Java. Our exception also must be a class. There are two types of exceptions: checked, unchecked. If you want to create a checked, extends exception. If you want to create unchecked, you have to write extends unchecked, runtime exception. First checked exception I'll show you. Creating completed. After this, another class. Main method. At the command prompt, we are going to pass the number. At the command prompt, we are passing number. The number, which format received? String format. String format to integer format, how to convert? ParseInt method. ParseInt method in which class? Integer class. Instance method, class method? Class method. How to call? What is the return type? Integer. Int x equal to integer dot parseInt. Args of 0. Now, if this number is positive number, cube. If the number is negative number, we have to throw exception. Now, one method we have to write. Like this. Now, you observe, we are calculating cube. Here, it will take one number. We'll write the logic here. Here, you observe, exception we created. That is, we have to apply to this method. Because, you observe, Java P, java.lang. Integer class. Number format exception is a one class. Number format exception is a one class. That class applied to this method. Stay. Number format exception is a one class. They applied to parseInt method. Seeing this line only, you understood there is an exception. That's what. This exception we have to throw here. Throws number negative number exception. So, seeing this line, you will understand there is an exception. Now, this is our method. Seeing this method body, you can understand. But predefined methods can understand. Predefined method body, can you see? No. That's what this line required. Now, here, is it instance method or class method? Instance method. How do you know? There is no static. What is the return type of this method? Void. That means it doesn't return. How many parameters? 1. Which type? Integer type 1. Will it throw exception? Yes, because throws. That's what. Seeing this line, you'll understand there is an exception. Okay. Now you observe it is cube method. Here we are writing logic. If a greater than 0, then system.out.println a into a into a. Else. Now, here, whenever exception occurred, what will be happen? You already studied. Whenever exception occurred, what will happen? Object is created by JVM. Object is created by JVM. Here, we have to create object. New negative number exception. Object created. After that, what will happen? Pass to exception handler. Nothing but catch block. It is passed to catch block. If you write throw, it is passed to catch block. If we don't write throw, it is not passed. It is created, not passed. Now, when here in a else block exception occurred, object created, passed to catch block. Catch block will catch whatever you write, message displayed. Now, we created exception, we applied exception, we are throwing exception. We have to handle. Now, this method we have to call. Is it instance method or class method? How many ways to access? What are those? Which class object required? Which class? Demo class. Demo class object I'll create. Demo D equal to new demo. Now, D dot cube. How many parameter it takes? 1. Which type? This X. Can I pass? Yes. Now, will it throw exception? Yes. Because throws. Which exception? Is it checked exception or unchecked exception? Is it compulsory to handle? Yes. This exception, it is exception. You must handle. You must handle. Okay. File. Save. Compilation. Error. Now, one question I'll ask. Think yourself and give answer. Think yourself. After thinking only give answer. Is it syntax error or exception? Is it syntax error or exception? Confusion is there, no? Confusion questions only I'll ask every day. Because in interview also, confusion questions only they'll ask. Now, is it syntax error or exception? Syntax error or exception? Decide. Take your own time, everyone. Your answer can be right or wrong. You have to give answer. Is it syntax error or exception? Take your own time, but give answer. But everyone should think, you have to give answer. Now, how many will answer syntax error? Just raise your hand. Okay. Online students. Okay. How many people answer exception? Online students. Okay. Now, syntax errors are compile time errors or runtime errors? Compile time errors. Exceptions, compile time error, runtime error. Is it compile time error, runtime error? Compile time error. Nothing but syntax error. It is not exception. It is syntax error. It is not exception. Now, you already studied. Now, will it throw exception? This method, will it throw exception? Yes. Which exception? Is it checked exception or unchecked exception? Is it compulsory to handle? If we don't handle, what will happen? That is occurred. Now, it is not negative number exception. Negative number exception must be caught error. Negative number exception, when it will occur, if the number is negative. But number also I didn't pass till. Whether it is positive or negative or also not checked. Then how it will occur? First you have to pass one number. The number is negative, then it will occur. But number also I didn't pass. Okay. So it is what system saying unreported exception, negative number exception must be caught. Must be caught error. See, every statement must be terminated with semicolon. Every statement must be terminated with semicolon. It is syntax. If we don't write semicolon expected, that error comes. Checked exception must be caught. Checked exception must be handled. If we don't handle, syntax error, compile time error. Try catch block expected, that error. Semicolon expected, that error. Try catch block expected, that error. Suppose here, runtime exception. Is it checked or unchecked? Is it compulsory to handle? No, because system handles implicitly. No. See, it is handled. It is system handle? No, because it is unchecked exception. If I remove runtime, checked exception. It is compulsory you have to handle. If you don't handle, compile time error occurs. So, if I write like this, now it is checked exception. Checked exception compulsory we have to handle. If we don't handle, compile time error occurs. So, if I compile now, you are getting must be caught error. Now, cube method. This cube method, it will throw number form, negative number exception. That exception is checked exception because extends exception. Because extends exception. Extends exception. So it is checked exception. Checked exception must be handled by programmer explicitly. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. Actually, exception means runtime error. If you don't handle, compile time error occurs. You observe. Exception means runtime error. That runtime error, if you don't handle, compile time error occurs. Okay. Now, one more question. First, is it clear? Is it clear? One more confusion question. Okay. Now, checked exception is a compile time error or wrong? Checked exception is a compile time error. Is it right or wrong? Checked exception is a compile time error. Is it right or wrong? Whatever it may be your answer, give answer. Your voice is low means not confident. Right or wrong? Wrong? Right? My statement is right or wrong. Checked exception is a compile time error. How many people answer right? Online students? How many people answer wrong? Okay. See, you already studied exception means runtime error. How many types of exception? Checked, two types. Checked, unchecked. All exceptions are runtime errors only. Checked also runtime error. Unchecked exception also runtime error. That class name don't see runtime error, runtime exception. That is also confusion. Exception means runtime error. That means checked or unchecked, whatever it may be. All exceptions are runtime errors. Compile time error, can I call checked exception? No. Compile time error is not called exception. Logical error is not called exception. Only runtime error is called exception. All exceptions are runtime errors only. Here, checked exception must be handled. That is syntax. Checked exception must be handled. That is syntax. That is if you don't handle compile time error. Checked exception is not a compile time error. Checked exception must be handled. If you don't handle, compile time error occurs. That is the concept. See, difficult to understand, no? You have to put efforts. You have to work hard. Okay? So, in interview also, this type questions only they'll ask. But what students will do? They'll open Google. Core Java interview questions. They'll download. question answer, they'll by heart. Later they'll attend interview. No use. You'll study n number of questions, they'll ask one more question. That's what subject logically should be strong. Question different angle comes. Just respond. Like by hearting question, answer, no use. It is wasted. Learn subject, question maybe different angle comes, then respond. Think logically, give answer. That is only best one. Okay? If you download from internet, if you question, answer, no use, that is. Wasted, time waste, that's it. Because how many are there? In number of we can create. Different people will be there, different angles they'll ask. Okay? So, my view one type will be there. And interviewer view one more type will be there. And in a Google you will download. That is one more person, one more view will be there. How many views? Many views. Okay? But at last subject is same. Okay? That's what in a classroom only if you work hard, later any question you can respond. That is the reason only always I'm asking respond. Answer right or wrong, whatever it may be. Okay? Now, exception means runtime error. All exceptions are runtime errors. Can I call compile time error is exception? No. Can I call logical error is exception? No. All exceptions are runtime errors. All runtime errors are exceptions. That's it. Okay. How many types of exception? Two types. What are those? Checked exception, unchecked exception. Checked exception is a compile time error, runtime error. Unchecked exception is a runtime error. All are runtime errors only. Okay. Is it compulsory to handle checked exception? If you don't handle, what will happen? Occurs. If you don't handle, compile time error occurs. Okay. Is it compulsory to handle unchecked exception? No, because system handles implicitly. Now is it clear? Okay. Now this is syntax error or exception. Syntax error. Is it compile time error, runtime error? Compile time error. How to solve this one? We have to write try catch blocks. We have to write try catch blocks. See, I'll write try catch. Okay. Negative number exception. System.err.println any. Here implicitly which method called? Which method? ToString. Which class ToString? In negative number exception, any ToString method is there? No. Which class ToString? Throwable class. I given already. Throwable class. Not object class. Throwable class. Okay. Because now negative number exception superclass. In exception class also ToString not there. That superclass. Throwable it is there already I have shown. Already notes I given. Okay. Throwable class. File. Save. Will it compile now? Will it compile? Yes. Now, if I pass like this, what will happen? See, compilation success. There is no syntax error. Execution. Java demo 5. Then demo class loaded. Open brace executed. Main method called. This 5 received by args. It is array. Array received. Try block open brace executed. Try block executed. Args of 0. It is first argument. Args of 0, 5. 5 string format received here. Integer format converted here. That X contains 5. Object created for demo class. That object referred by D. With the D cube method called. This 5 passed to cube method. Received here. 5 greater than 0. True. Then 5 into 5 into 5, 125. Java demo minus 5. You observe again. Now, demo class loaded. Open brace executed. Main method called. Open brace executed. Minus 5 received string format. Minus 5 comes here. Converted to integer format. Object created for demo class. That object referred by D with that cube method called. Minus 5 passed here. Minus 5 received. Minus 5 greater than 0, false. Then object created. This object passed to catch block. Catch block will catch here ToString method called throwable class with that class name printed. Negative number exception. Okay. Write this one. Program to create and handle checked exception. 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 Is it completed? See, if we pass negative number, then what will happen? See here. Demo class loaded, open brace executed, main method called, here -5 received, string format. Open brace executed, try block executed, -5 converted to integer. Object created to demo class. That object referred by D with that cube method called -5 copied in A. -5 greater than 0 false. Then object created to negative number exception class. This object passed to catch block because this throw keyword will throw. Then catch keyword will catch. Then negative number exception NE equal to new negative number exception. Object is there, reference is here. It will catch. Okay. So throw keyword will throw the object. Catch keyword will catch the object. That's what name is throw, here catch. Okay. It is going to throw. It is going to catch. Now, here it is checked exception. Checked exception must be handled by programmer explicitly. Otherwise, compile time error occurs. If I don't handle, will it compile? No. Say, if we don't write semicolon, you'll get a semicolon expected. If you don't write semicolon expected. I written semicolon. If you don't write try catch block expected. That error that is. See, must be handled. Must be caught. You must handle. If you don't handle, system will not handle. That's what you have to handle. Must be caught. That's what syntax error. Every statement must be terminated with semicolon. It is syntax. If you don't follow, syntax error occurs. Every checked exception must be handled by programmer explicitly. It is syntax. If you don't handle, syntax error occurs. Syntax errors are compile time errors. That is occurred. Now, if we don't write semicolon, this error coming. How to solve this error? How to solve this error? We have to write semicolon. Okay, I return semicolon. Now, you are getting this error. How to solve this error? Write try catch block. There semicolon compulsory. Here try catch block compulsory. That type. Okay. Now write try catch block. Now it will compile. Okay. Suppose I'll remove try catch. If I compile, we are getting compile time error. Okay. Now this exception, I'll make it unchecked exception. Now negative number exception is checked exception or unchecked exception now? Unchecked. Is it mandatory to handle? No. Why? System handles implicitly. Now, here, this object will be thrown to catch block. But where is catch block? Implicitly catch block. That catch block will catch. It doesn't appear to you. It is there. That catch block will catch. That's what. It will compile successfully. It will run. System handling, that type message comes. Okay. Now write this one also. Program to create unchecked exception. 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 Is it over? But what's the difference between throw keyword and throws keyword? Not completed. Tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow we'll see continuation.